For years, the west side of Cleveland has been haunted by a mystery. Unsolved missing persons cases, teenage girls who disappeared close to Cleveland's arterial Lorraine Avenue. The families of the two youngest pleaded for help through the media, making Amanda Berry and Gina DeJesus household names.
Amanda Berry, she left work about 7:30 at night. She was working at the Burger King, got done with her shift, and began walking away from work. That's the last time she was seen.
What's been the hardest for me is that Amanda's just been gone for too long, and I want her home.
10 long years passed with no word.
When I went to Amanda's home and interviewed her mom several times, she would take me around the house, and she took me into Amanda's bedroom. And she left it just like Amanda had it because she thought she was coming home.
Then, on a calm spring day, in an unassuming house on Seymour Avenue, there was the weak sound of a commotion, a voice.
I see this girl going nuts, trying to get out of her house. I go on the porch, and she says, "Help me get out. I've been in here a long time." So, I figured it's a domestic violence dispute. So I open the door, and we can't get in that way because how the door is, it's so much that a body can't fit through, only your hand. So we kick the bottom, and she comes out with the little girl, and she says, "Call 911.
Help me, I'm Amanda Berry.
You need police, fire, or ambulance.
I need police.
Okay, and what's going on there?
I've been kidnapped, and I've been missing for 10 years, and I'm here. I'm free now.
The girl Amanda told the police, "I ain't just the only ones. It's some more girls up in that house." So they went up there, 30, 40 deep, and when they came out, was just astonishing.
3 women and a 6-year-old girl were rescued. Their story was unlike anything anyone here had ever heard. Held captive and made sexual slaves by an unassuming school bus driver by the name of Ariel Castro.
He was a good man, and we knew him for a long time, and we never thought that he'd do something like this.
I feel a little heavy-hearted that a lot more wasn't known about what was going on in this neighborhood. So it's a surreal thing to think about, but it does seem like a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. For him to have had a normal life, and then behind the scenes for him to have been a monster, I mean.
The neighborhood began to talk, and suspicious details about life around the Castro house began to emerge.
I saw the girl a few times, yeah. When Ariel would be home, the window in the attic would be open, and she would be out looking, around and that. And then when he would leave, he'd close up the house, close up the window. I was worried about her because who's watching this little girl? I asked my daughter if he had a wife or anything. She said Ariel lived by himself. So I'm trying to figure out where did this little girl come from,
Ricky Sanchez was a bandmate of Ariel Castro for the entire decade that the girls were held hostage. The band would practice music in the living room, this house of horror.
I've been going to the house since 2002, and I never in my mind, that that guy has, anybody in that house. That little girl came, show up, and then when I saw her, he said, "Ricky, here's my granddaughter," And
how did she seem to you?
Seems to be like a shy, like she didn't even want to say hi to me. She was like kind of like, walking. He was walking towards the door. He got the door like halfway open, about maybe 2 inches open. It's affecting me in a way. I even told my wife that I can't even sleep at nighttime. It is different, I have a daughter. She's 20 years old. That could have been happened to me, And I wish that she would, at least I would hear something so I can help.
After a stay in hospital, the girls returned home to an outpouring of community support. But all the victims immediately withdrew and asked for privacy. A single gesture by Gina DeJesus, giving hope to former friends.
It was so amazing. Like, I was in tears. It was just nice to see her give that thumbs up to let us know that she was okay. It's good to see her home.
Then reporters like Sam Allard began trying to make sense of what had happened in the house. Apparently, the girls had only been allowed outside twice in the past decade. Articles were written about how the girls had been bound in ropes and chains, how Castro made them each a cake on the anniversary of their kidnapping. There were even testimonies printed about the girls' rape, pregnancies, and torture.
When women became pregnant, he would starve them and then punch them in the stomach to force a miscarriage. And one of the reasons the police were so ardently searching these backyards, digging up the ground and stuff, is because they were looking for remains and fetuses and things like that. As gruesome as I'm sure that sounds, it's disgusting. To think that it actually happened to a human being is, it makes you question your own humanity. There are people who live in our neighborhood even capable of doing this type of atrocity.
The girls are now with their families, reunited after a decade, but hardly free, as they're now fenced in by media and a watchful public.
There are not enough words to say or express the joy that we feel for the return of our family member, Gina. And now, Amanda Berry, the daughter, and Michelle Knight, who is our family also.
Care workers like Dr. Lolita McDavid say the girls' recovery may take a lifetime.
Their families think that the 14-year-old who walked out going to school that day is the person who's going to come back, and that's not who's coming back. Instead, you're going to have a 20-some-year-old who has been through absolutely horrific circumstances. So they're going to need a lot of therapy.
And for Amanda Berry, a harder blow still. Her mother, after a tireless campaign to have her daughter found, passed away before Amanda was freed.
She made it her mission in life to find her daughter. She did everything she could, and I hope Amanda knows that.
Ariel Castro was arraigned in a Cleveland court on charges of rape and kidnapping. His bail set at $8 million.
They were bound and restrained and sexually assaulted, basically never free to leave this residence.
$2 million for crimes against each victim, 3 for the girls, and 1 for the daughter born in the house of horror. These crimes have shocked everyone, including Castro's own family.
The little girl that was born, she's my third cousin, and I wish to help them in some kind of way because I feel very bad. I would never think that somebody from my family could do that.